By the end of this video, you'll be winning 10 times more games because I'm going to show you the best and most overpowered defenses in Madden 25. The reason I know this is because I've made thousands of dollars and coached hundreds of players in the competitive Madden sphere. The first defense I'm going to show you is the 3-3 odd, the new favorite of pro players like Skimbo, David T, and Vohes right now. And this blitz has two variations, which provide either double edge heat from the play hot blitz and cross blitzing heat from LB cross 3 show 2. And for either of these blitzes, you must make sure the cornerback inside package is on, auto flip is off, and baseline is also on. To run the hot blitz variation of this blitz, you first have to show blitz by pressing triangle or Y and then the right bumper, then pinch your defensive line by pressing left on the D-pad, down on the left stick, then contain by pressing the right bumper twice, and then lastly, what you have to do is grab the right side linebacker, move him outside of his contain about 3 yards from the right tackle. So the final blitz is a send 6 version that looks like this. And of course, when our opponent sends 5 out, we can expect either the linebacker, the slot corner, or even the interior linebacker to come in completely clean. Now, of course, this isn't amazing. We're sending 6 people against 5 blockers. It's going to come in. But I'm going to show you why this is actually kind of amazing and what you can do to make it even better. You don't actually have to send 6. So what you can do is press triangle or Y, reset up everything else the same. I'm not going to go through the adjustments again. And then you could zone out the left side inside linebacker. So I'm going to press right on the D-pad twice, then I'm going to press square or X, and then I'm going to put them on a hard flat by pressing right on the right stick. So it's going to look something like this. Now we're sending 5 people against 5 people, and what you're going to notice is that either the linebacker or the slot corner or both are going to come in. Now what you're probably saying is, okay, 5 against 5, some blitzes can do that in the game. But what makes this blitz particularly good is it'll also come in against a blocked running back, so blocking 6 people. So once again, we're going to set up the blitz the exact same way, go through all of the adjustments, show blitz, zone out this linebacker, pinch our defensive line contain, just like this. And what you're going to see is when our opponent snaps the ball, we're actually going to get the linebacker on the right to come in completely clean. So once again, we are sending 5 people, just like so, against 6 blockers, and we're getting someone to come in completely clean. The very last thing that I do want to know is that you want to set up certain coverages to stop your opponent. Right now, this defense isn't great as is, so what I recommend you do, and this is more advanced, is you want to set up a cover 2 on the right. So it looks like this. You want to deep half that strong safety, put a cloud on your right outside corner, inside third, the free safety, and then hard flat the inside linebacker. So it'll actually look like this. Now I understand this is a lot of adjustments, so the quicker way to do this, but this does make the blitz less consistent, is to come out in Tampa 2. And then when you run Tampa 2 and show blitz, contain, and do everything like we did the same, just like so, it'll kind of already be set up in a nice cover 2 defense for you, and then all you have to do is blitz the left side corner. And what you're going to notice is the coverage will be a lot better when you do this, right? Of course, the slot corner does not always come in when you do it like this, but the coverage is set up a lot quicker. So that's the hot blitz bail / the Tampa 2 double edge heat from 3-3 odd. To set up the A-gap version of 3-3 odd, what you need to do is first show blitz, just like before, pinch our defensive line, just like before, move this linebacker out, just like so. Although not mandatory for this blitz, I also like to shade underneath by pressing triangle or Y and down on the right stick. So the final setup will look something like this. And what you're going to notice is when I snap this ball, the left side linebacker will come straight through the A-gap for an easy sack. So let's set it up one more time. Show blitz, pinch our defensive line, move this linebacker out, and shade underneath. Only a few adjustments, and what's going to happen is this linebacker on the left is going to come straight through the A-gap and get us an instant sack. Now, before I get into the next defense, I want to give a gigantic shout out to frequent sponsor of the channel, PrizePicks, the easiest, simplest, and most exciting real money fantasy game in the world. To play, all you have to do is pick the sport, the stat category, then select your players and decide whether they will do more or less than their PrizePicks projection. Then add at least 2 to 6 players to your lineup, and the more players you add, the more money you can make. And there's always tons of promotions going on, like Taco Tuesday, where they drop discounted projections, and Flex Friday, where you can get a protected play to get your cash back if your lineup loses. And there's no better time to sign up, because with code SWOLO, you will get $50 instantly when you place your first $5 plus in lineups. And to check them out, just click the QR code on screen or check out the description down below. The next defense I'm going to show you is the 4-3 even 6-1, the favorite defense of pro players like BigTay, Mills, and used as a secondary defense by Fancy. And this blitz also has two variations, which provides either 4-man DT nano heat from the play cover 4 quarters and heavy double edge heat from Sam Will blitz. To set up the A-gap nano heat from 4-3 even 6-1, you first want to come out in the play flipped. That's really important. Then it only requires 2 adjustments. You want to shift your defensive line to the left by pressing left on the D-pad and then left on the left stick. Then you want to crash your defensive line to the left by pressing left on the D-pad and then left on the right stick. And you want to hover over the center in a predator stance. This is considered a predator stance. This is not considered a predator stance, right? So you want to be in a predator stance, not a Diddy stance, just a regular football predator stance. It's also important that you have the left leg of the linebacker or the right of screen leg of the linebacker being the one facing forward. That makes it much more consistent. So then all you have to do is run into the center on the snap, and you're going to see the defensive tackle will come in completely clean. Just like that, you could see number 90 gets an easy sack and the opponent has no time to make a throw. So just to show you that it's consistent, all you have to do, shift left, crash left, hover in the predator stance with the left leg of the linebacker moving forward. It'll take a second to get set up, engage with the center, and you're gonna get that defensive tackle A-gap every single time. To run the Send 6 version of this blitz, we're gonna do the exact same thing we did for cover 4 quarters. We're gonna call Sam Will blitz though, shift our defensive line to the left, crash our defensive line to the left, and hover right over the center. Now, of course, since we are sending 6 people, we are going to get 1 or 2 people in completely clean when they 5 out, as in they don't block their running back. But if our opponent does block their running back like this, you're gonna see that this Send 6 blitz will also come in, and we don't necessarily have to engage with the center. We just need to get his attention. So if we get his attention and loop out, you're gonna see that we're gonna get one of these linebackers or defensive ends in at the quarterback completely clean. Now, don't get me wrong, you do need some coverage for this. Sitting in stock man when you're set up, especially from a base alignment, isn't great. So what I like to do is quarter the right side safety or the strong side safety by pressing triangle or Y, then X or A, and then right on the right stick to put him in a quarter. And then you could soft squat the right side outside corner so he matches pretty much the first player out. And that's pretty much all you have to do when you're playing tight sets. It does get a little nuanced when you're playing spread sets, but in general, this will be pretty effective for you. And as long as you cover the middle of the field, you're gonna be able to sack your quarterback or sack your opponent's quarterback a ton of the time. If you watched through this far, you're serious about getting better at Madden 25. So you should definitely check out the insane amount of exclusive content on victoryformation.gg, where we have over 80 plus game-changing videos and 3 elite game plans. Once again, on victoryformation.gg. The next defense I'm going to show you is the Dime 3-2. The favorite of pro players Drini and Fancy. But after the patch, the heavy box alignment that everyone used got nerfed. The safeties will now have streaks run right by them, and the run game was already pretty wide open against it. So we're going to instead run a pinch defensive line, base pressed alignment to help us against the run, give us better slot corner blitzes, and cover any streaks over the top. And we have 3 blitz variations for you. One which provides double edge heat from the play DB Fire 2, looping heat from Edge Blitz 3, and A-gap heat from Cover 6 Willie. To run the double edge heat version of this blitz, what you're going to do is first press by pressing triangle or Y and down on the left stick. Then you're going to pinch your defensive line by pressing left on the D-pad, down on the left stick, left on the D-pad again, down on the right stick, and contain by double tapping the right bumper. And now this is out of the play DB Fire 2. And if our opponent sends 5 out, what you're gonna notice is that you're gonna get 1 or both of the slot corners in completely clean at the quarterback. What makes this particularly interesting is that if our opponent blocks their running back, a large percentage of the time, we can get one of the slot corners, usually the one opposite the running back, in for a quick sack. Now, my favorite part of the blitz, however, is that you can often get it in 4 versus 5. That is, if you send the 3 defensive linemen and the slot corner on the side of your user, so in this case, the left side slot corner, and you zone out the right side slot corner. You can put them in whatever you want, put them in man even, doesn't matter. You're gonna notice that if they do not block their running back, a large percentage of the time, you're gonna get that left side slot corner in right off the edge, and he'll get that nice rip animation on the defensive end. So that's why I really like the DB Fire double edge or single edge heat. To set up the loop version of this blitz from the edge blitz play, you need to make 3 simple adjustments. First, you gotta press by pressing triangle or Y down on the left stick, pinch your defensive line by pressing left on the D-pad down on the left stick, and then put your right side slot corner in any zone. So I'm just gonna put him in a vert hook. And then what you need to do is have an aggressive hover with your user, get the attention of the left guard, and what will actually happen is that the safety on the right side of the field will loop all the way around and get you an easy sack at the quarterback. And just to show you that it's consistent, I'm gonna run it one more time, set it up the exact same way, just like so. And what you're gonna see is that we're gonna get that looper in right around the edge, and he's gonna sack the quarterback as long as he makes the tackle on the first attempt. To run the A gap from the play cover 6 Willie, you first, of course, call the play cover 6 Willie, but when you come out in it, you're gonna flip your play by pressing square X and then the right trigger. Then what you're going to do is press your defense, pinch your defensive line, and then you're gonna sit with your user in the right side B gap. And on the snap, you're gonna go straight outside with your user. If you go inside, this blitz will not work. So on the snap, we're gonna go out, and you're gonna see that the linebacker is gonna loop in straight through the A gap. Just to show you that it's consistent, I'm gonna do it one more time. Flip your play, press, pinch your defensive line, sit in the B gap, and then on the snap, you're gonna go out. And then what will happen is the looper will come in completely clean for an easy sack. Now, if you're looking for how to play coverage out of literally any of these defenses, but especially the dime 3-2, I highly recommend you check out the video on screen right now.